Usually with video games, I tend to find some sort of pride in saying that I can play any genre you throw at me. Platformers, FPS, some weird indie roguelike. But MOBAs? They're just that one genre I will never understand the appeal for, and why I don't like League of Legends. It's always been that one game I hear people talk about that I have zero interest in playing, as I don't really have fun with it. So when I say that the League of Legends show Arcane is phenomenal, and my favorite series of 2021, that should pique your interest. When it comes to video game adaptations, there are several glaring problems that seem to hurt pretty much all of them. Games are meant to be played. Unless you're playing a narrative-driven game like a visual novel, the stories of those games are usually background for the gameplay. Even for games like The Last of Us or God of War 2018, where the narrative is more focused, those games wouldn't nearly be as interesting if it weren't for the great gameplay backing it up. So when you try and create a movie about the story of a non-narrative driven game is really when the flaws start to show. You can't just adapt something like Sonic or Mortal Kombat from the games directly, because there really isn't much of a strong narrative to begin with, so you have to start writing it from scratch. This goes for pretty much all video game adaptations, and the main reason why pretty much all of them have failed, despite what reviews may say.
Just got back from seeing Sonic the Hedgehog, loved the shit out of it, so good.
Outside of some weird, highly rated films, there really isn't much to go off of when it comes to great video game adaptations. So I'll just say it outright. Arcane is the best video game adaptation. And here's why! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I wouldn't call Arcane brilliantly written, but I definitely say it has a solid screenplay, genuine stakes, and actual compelling characters. Something I love about media in general is when they completely subvert expectations. In a good way, of course. You don't expect well-developed characters to get thrown aside and killed like cannon fodder, but it's ultimately satisfying for what it leads to. Everything feels purposeful, and it's not just subverting cliches for the sake of it. It's advancing the story. That sense of uneasiness with the knowledge that nobody is safe keeps you on edge whenever a character you like seeing is on screen. A good part of this anxiety-induced tension that the show creates is due to the well-established characters. The relationship between Vi and Jinx is well-established and complex. The distant sister relationship could have gone in a ton of ways you've seen before, but the show finds a way to make it unique while playing to the characters' best traits. The way the show is able to dedicate itself to showing you their backstory instead of explaining it is really well handled, especially in the later episodes. All of these fantastic elements are placed against this purely breathtaking animation the show consistently carries through every frame. This style can easily be compared to the Witness episode of Love, Death, and Robots, which has a similar 2D, 3D mixture, the main difference being that it's mixed with the story itself, creating a connection between both the plot and the visual representation of what the characters are feeling. The best examples of this come with both Jinx as a character, as well as with the almost music video-esque sections of the show where they'll seemingly play a random licensed song and animate a fight scene for it. While the song choices themselves can be fairly unfitting for this grimy steampunk world, those music video portions of the episodes are incredible to look at. I know Riot Games really loves their Imagine Dragons, but they don't work, and I would have much rather have had the actual score play instead. I don't really have much else to say without spoiling the show, so I'll just leave it at that. If you have the spare time to watch Arcane, I highly recommend you open Netflix and check it out. I know that the toxic-inducing smear of the League of Legends logo is smothered all over the marketing, but you really don't need to like anything about the video game to love this. Please check out Arcane, and I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Oh, also, go check out my other hella steampunk videos. Bye!
When you feel my wrath, I'm gonna shove it up there, because this is not Shrek, is love. I am your life and death. When I shove it up there, it could kill your life, but it feels good to me, and it feels good to me.